You are having a wonderful time today. It is a beautiful Saturday, and that means it is a beautiful day for some Rivals of Aether 2. We are so excited to be with you here for the R2CS NA Online tournament. We have almost 200 of Rivals 2's most passionate online players, and we are going to be taking you all the way through up to the top 8 to talk about a ton of fun matches coming up. I am Comona over on the other end of the screen. You got Momo, and Momo, how we doing?
I am feeling fantastic, Comona. Thank you very much. Like you mentioned, 200 people that are absolutely love the game. We've got some insane heavy hitters here today. We've got people like Adam. We've got people like Derai. We've got people like Human Lime. We've got people from all across different countries. We've got Macaque from Canada. We've got so many different regions within the NA, obviously, right? At least I hope. I won't stitch. That, like, it's such a diverse set of people that play this game, even within this, like, one section of the world, that no matter how this tournament ends up going, no matter who wins, who takes the whole thing, it's going to be a great watch.
Going to be a lot of fun to watch. And you were talking about some of those top level players that, you know, are going to be here. Some of the people that don't get as much shine, right? Some of the Wi-Fi warriors that don't get to travel out to as many tournaments, or people that can't really get out of region to the big majors and everything like that. But also a lot of the names that you are familiar with. People like Sophilo, Gunshoe, of course, Elkies would never miss a tournament for her life, and Mystery Soul, who just signed up yesterday, also in the tournament as well. So, ton of those big names that you know and love, you're going to get to see them play today. It is going to be an absolute blast, and we have got a match queued up, almost ready to go here, as we are just about ready to kick off for our pools. Like I said, 198 attendees signed up on Start GG. Hopefully not too many DQs. It is a lot of people, and that means that there is a lot of fun ahead of us.
100%, man. Like you mentioned, we got our round number 1. We have got Solf representing the Rano and Echo on the Forsberg. Yeah, like, you know, the master of deception. He shows his face early, shows his cards immediately in our round number 1. And we know, like you mentioned before, like player that we don't get as much recognition. That's personally my bread and butter of, like, especially in this game too. I feel like everyone has got some kind of sauce. So I'm excited to see what we got going into here immediately. We're starting out on Merchant Port. Comona, how do you feel about this stage pick going into this?
You know what? This is one of the stages that I, as a Rano player myself, would normally ban against Forsburn. This is normally a really, really good stage for Rano. You're a very maneuverable character. You like having that extra space to be able to try to set up your needles, outplay your opponent. But against Forsburn, he gets all the space to set up that smoke. And you are going to have some limited movement, particularly with that air drift as Rano. So if you get knocked off stage, Forsburn can take that opportunity to just torch the entire stage with smoke if he wants to.
Ooh, but speaking of early on, Solf taking advantage of the position given by Echo so far, trying to find a way to get back down to ledge. The dash shot coming out there from Echo, they're going to find the up air as well. Looking to find another conversion off of that cape, but great DI down to avoid that. The F-Strong is still not going to take it there, but like you mentioned, Comona, all that smoke set up at the ledge, giving you the perfect time to get your shenanigans started, and Echo takes stock number 1 here.
And now you look at this situation, right, where, I mean, just a couple of misplays from Solf right there, gonna end up getting taken off stage, and, you know, the recoveries, you have to be so on point against Forsburn because he can really torch you real quick just for, you know, a tiny mistake, right? That's one of the things that this character can definitely do, but that big mistake of just, like, where you lose that stock as well, right? If you take that little extra time to get to the blast zone, you're suddenly dealing with the whole stage covered in smoke, and that's about what's going to happen now. I don't think you're making it back off of that, especially not if Echo's going deep for that down air, taking you off the side and saying, hey, you know what? I'll give it up to have that clean full stock lead.
See, it's ironic you mentioned earlier on about how good the stage is for Rano typically. Well, I love the way that Echo's approaching this is actually taking advantage of all the typical Rano routes you would want to go to, like catching Echo recovering high, setting up smoke where Rano typically wants to be, or going super low there for catch that bubble recovery. Echo's doing a fantastic job of covering wherever Solf wants to set up. Solf finally trying to amp up here, find a decent amount of damage off of this combo, but again, Echo playing a perfect defensive game and not letting him get any real momentum here.
Yeah, definitely keeping the pressure on as well, which is something that Forsberg can do really well, especially with the lead. Like, you think that, oh, like, it's hard to try to chase him down, to run him down, right? Get him out of that smoke when you're behind. But also, if you have to fight back, right, and you have to sort of dance around him, it's tough. Nice edge grab right there, though, real quick from Salf, bringing it to last stock. Does use those needles to deal with a bunch of that smoke, but gonna set up that bubble at the ledge, not gonna cover his way back. Echo gonna be taking game one right there with a perfectly placed down air.
Very well played there from Echo going into that game number one. And again, like, just the utilization of Forsberg as a character is just coming out fully in space here. Like, Echo not only just like setting up the smoke and playing a good grounded game, but also being cognizant of the opposing game plan, recognizing where Salf wants to play typically, where you can pressure a character like Rano. So I feel like at stage like Hodojo, Salf kind of counteracting that, saying, okay, you know what, I need to just shrink this down, because if I give you any time to set up, I'm going to be taking way more damage than I want to. I just straight up need to get in there and find a combo, get my foot in the door.
Definitely struggling with these recoveries, though, not snapping to the ledge and really getting blown up for it. Echo just riding a couple of recoveries above the ledge to a full stock lead, only taking 7% in that first one, a couple of little bits of chip, and now this is a danger zone. This is a stage that can really snowball for both of these characters if they get that first hit, because they have some seriously big coverage, both on the platforms and for those vertical combos. But right now, it is absolutely the Echo show, really laying the hurt on Salfam, who's just trying to get back down onto the ground, but drifts into the cape with a big charge. 31% taken just in the first two stocks.
And the Phantom of the Opera skin is fitting here because this forward is singing. I say that I get there with a forward air. Can't even finish my joke.
You forgot that the Phantom of Opera is a drama. It is a tragedy.
That absolutely was tragic.
Phantom of Opera, like it's Ace of Diamond. Anyways.
But now, it's, I mean, again, Salf is trying to force their way in, albeit like trying to have some presence on the ground, but simply can't do that because Echo is sending the clone in first every time to do his dirty work. You know, this is the master of deception we're watching right now.
Yeah, for sure. Forceburn so tough to lock down. Normally, like, Rano's really good at playing a whiff punish game, but Forceburn is a really hard character to whiff punish, just period. Like that setup with that downer on the platform, though. Upstrung, not going to be able to take the stock. Goes for it again, forced into a tech situation. That has been another place where Echo has been really taking advantage in this matchup. Catches that shield drop as well, so Salf down to maybe one more hit before death.
Oh, and that back air is going to do it. Echo closing it out with a clean 2-stock and a 2-0, wrapping it up all neat and moving on through our first set here. And like we mentioned before, Comona, like, these aren't the featured players that we mentioned by name, but like that was some pretty damn good Rivals of Aether 2.
That was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about this game is that it really doesn't matter what level you're playing at. You can do sick stuff in this game. Like, the design of this game is kind of built around that. Everybody gets to eat. Everybody gets to have their sick stuff. And yeah, I mean, first game on the stream, we're early on into pools, and we still got to have a real banger set. Last one, you know, went down to you know, the straps, right? It got kind of scary there at the end, but yeah, definitely advantage for the Forsburn right there. Great stuff from Echo. Definitely gonna be seeing more of them. I like the way that they were playing that one.
100%, man. And like, you gotta appreciate someone that like not only is like hyper aware of their own character's tools and the game plan you want typically, of like there's no hesitation, it wasn't just like empty movement, you know, like a lot of time you see at like the lower level, or like even across all levels of play, of like just doing an option because you're supposed to but don't actually know the reason why. Or saying there's a lot of like actual motivation behind these things, like setting up smoke where you should be, setting up clone in a position where it can drop down and cover the center stage. And not only that, but also recognizing a character like Rano. Like, I feel like watching Echo, either they play Rano way too much, or there's like a vitriol behind that character. Like, yo, I need to spite learn this matchup. Because that was really well played.
I need to learn this before anything else happens. Well, again, we'll definitely be seeing some more of that. I mean, again, I have, my gripes about that matchup as Rano, but, also I think that we did see Solf doing quite a few of the good things, right? Being preemptive about crouch canceling, right? In case of the cape, going for those floor hugs. But honestly, didn't really come out. A lot of the game was very aerial, trying to make those aerial approaches work as Rano, and Forsburn can be pretty good at stuffing that out as well. But we could talk about that later. We've got our next match coming up, and Momo, somebody that you and I are both very familiar with, a fellow commentator, is going to be one of the players in the next match. We got Jett the Jenga God, who will doubtlessly be bringing the Crag into play, going up against, let me double check that opponent right there, against Lulius, who will be trying to face down that big evil beetle.
I thought it was Lucius too for a second. That's a very close tag.
Lulius.
That's also a great tag. Jett, no, I never heard of this guy. I don't know what you're talking about. This guy, I bet he's he's a hidden boss. Never traveled before. I have no clue who this guy is.
Never been seen at a LAN ever for any reason. No.
He's just a Wi-Fi warrior.
Jett though, all joking aside, is definitely, fellow commentator like we were talking about. Also a pretty solid player with the Crag. I know that I've seen him, take some names, get some pretty decent results. I know that he and I both got I think 33rd at Battle of BC a little while back, but now we'll see what Lulius can bring to the table with the Clarin on the other side taking on Crag. Can be a bit of a problem for both of these characters, honestly. It's one of those we blow each other up type matchups.
100%. And early on, speaking of blowing each other up, Jett already finding 67% right out of the gate, looking to accentuate this lead here. The back air into the dash attack right off to the corner as well. Gonna punish that over errant nair on shield as well, setting up that rock there, catching that jump with the nair as well. Jett keeping the pressure up consistently there, especially with the waveland to ledge. Lulius finally finds some footing there, but man, an explosive start to the game from this Crag.
Woo! Yeah, and honestly, I love Lulius firing back. Some really solid edge guarding being showed right there as well, and a good maneuverability around what Crag can do off stage, and bringing this one right back to even, because this is just a throw into an F-Strong away from this game being actually in Lulius's favor, despite how the game started. But Jett is able to get back on stage, Crag pressure back on, not going to connect the sweet spot, so Lulius still hangs on to that first stock, but still anyone's game here at the start.
Looking to find a landing here, and Jett actually counteracting that with the pillar usage, right? They're going to try literally drag Lulius up there, saying, hey, if you want to ladder combo me, you're going to meet me up there. Up to the big neutral special off stage, not going to find anything off of that. The backer is going to connect though, trying to go high, but recognizing that, going outside of that Clarin range some way, somehow. The late forward air coming out, still not going to close it out with those rock fragments. Playing patiently there, but going to check the jump with the jab. Very good call out there from Lulius, still playing strong-footed there at the ledge. Both these players playing so patiently, but the first knock goes to Jett with the down special into the up air.
Got plenty of time. Once you hear Crag, once he sound like he had a good burger, you know that you got plenty of time to react if that hits your opponent.
That's going to be stuck in my head forever now. You've ruined me. I can't believe this.
You never been to a burger place and been like, oh yeah,
Oh man. But regardless,
right.
That's going to be Lulius taking the first stock there off of Jett, though. This game very much close to start out here. Lulius finally finding some better footing here, especially with these pressure on these merchant port platforms. Going to catch Jett. Whenever he's not going overtly high, he's finding that extensive damage. Not going to find that F-Strong, though, but going to cover that ledge. I like the reversal there with the back air. Finally, Jett back in the driver's seat, but just taking so much damage from these Clarin ladder combos.
Oh, and here we go once again. That was delicious for me. Gets that set up on the platform, but not able to get a follow-up, and now a big F-Strong right there, catching Jett without resources. So Lulia gonna be taking the lead right there, and a very important early stock, because that first game, or the first stock of this game, definitely took a little while for both of these characters to take their first stock, which is not typical for them, but now Lulius is definitely feeling a bit more comfortable, kind of going off here against Jett. Great spacing as well. We're drifting down, perfectly timed air dodge from Jett though, and an unfortunately timed SD from Lulius to bring us to last stock.
Nope, but gonna catch that roll in there with the down strong. Lulius looking to keep the pressure back up. You're gonna catch Jett getting over aggressive, but Jett gonna find his way back in there with that armor. Big pressure, 52% there, and more to boot. But Lulius gonna find that forward into the F-Strong. That was a conversion.
Plenty of time to react right there. One of the things that Claren really gets off of her aerials is if you're low to the ground, if you get those combos, you do have a lot of time to react to be able to finish off those stocks, especially against a big character like Crag. You're going to be able to find that connection. So Lulius, definitely bringing it back from a somewhat rocky start in SD as well, no pun intended, but is going to be going up 1-0, and we are going to Ho Dojo, so even higher risk, higher reward for both of these characters going into game 2.
100%. I definitely agree with the picker from Jett, considering the biggest pitfall he had from last game was struggling to get around. Dude.
I'm not even doing it.
It's
a natural reaction, bro.
My bad.
It's funny though, because that move really does give you that natural reaction, whether you hit it or parry it, right? You're just like, oh yeah, here we go. You know that you're going to be having a big follow-up afterwards, and boy, these two are just fighter jets off stage right now, battering each other. There's the parry again. No tipper on the side special though, so not able to get the confirm into the KO. However, just a couple extra hits with Lulius, keeping on the pressure, bringing out that first stock, and again the parry.
Oh my goodness, man. Lulius playing this perfectly while going to catch Jett, dropping off that platform every single time. The aggressive down air getting punished there as well. The forward air into the nair, not going to take it, but putting him in such precarious position, burning that pillar and that rock between a rock and a hard place. Lulius finds their way back out of there, down air into the up air, still keeping the pressure back up. The back air into the F-strong. Pillar going to save you, but not for long as you go all the way out there with the neutral special. Jett still hanging on. Oh, the reversal though with the rock throw, and now he's back in the driver's seat.
No follow-ups off of those back airs. Rock almost getting the rebound right there. Jett trying to get that missed recovery right there, but it was true. It went right to the platform. So Lulius still hanging on to this first stock, and Jett in danger of losing his second right now with this Claren keeping on that pressure.
Oh, not going to close it out there just yet. Lulius keeping the consistent pressure up, going to make sure this Crag gets no moment of peace. Going to find the up tilt there, which he's going to do it. Oh my. Lulius up 3 stocks to 1. Finds the parry there again. We gotta stop doing down being neutral. You gotta stop doing for those.
Queue up Punk versus Knuckle Do. You can't do that. You can't do that. The reactions are on point from Lulius. Almost every single one of these previous down specials have been parried, and Jett taking a beating for it. Up to 80%. Does get the reverse hit of that fair to take that first stock. And Momo, it's looking bad for Jett, but this is Crag, so it's not over by any means.
Absolutely not. He tried to get in there with a crazy down pistol conversion, but Lulius going out there challenging the pillar time and time again, and you cannot make that back. Thankfully, sheesh. But
if Lulius could make that back, we'd have a problem.
Yeah, I was like low key worried for a second, but clearly Lulius had it covered, and that's going to be a swift and clean 2-0 moving forward against Jett the Janky God. Stick the commentary. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you know what? Not bad advice. He's an excellent commentator in his own right. I'm not, because I'm about to cough really loud. Anyways, great set right there. I love what we saw. Definitely from Lulius, we saw some great adaptation over the course of that set, and I think that was really the breadwinner, is that it came down to those couple of opportunities to get those big punishes. We saw that, first and maybe second stock of that first game, there's a little bit trouble on both sides from being able to take those stocks, but Lulius started getting really comfortable with the matchup, really comfortable with the openings that Jett was giving up, especially on parrying those down specials, which is sort of a signature move, right? But Lulius definitely, getting the big punishes, figuring out that game plan in the neutral and the punish, and just sort of rolling it over to a big win.
100%, man. I mean, it's like at this point, there are like so many characters in this game that actually it applies to literally all of them, but like certain aspects of the matchups where like you need to be hyper aware of. If you don't, you will literally get run over. And Lulius going to show the biggest thing they were countering was not letting Crag pillar for free and challenging down special neutral as like one of his best combo starters, like parrying it almost every single time. So fantastically well played from him in general, of course. But again, not too much hate to avoid Jett, but we got our next set coming up. We have got Iota representing the first ABSA of the day versus Benny and the Jetts on the Claren.
Yeah, Benny and the Jetts.
What's going on here?
Jett into Benny and the Jetts. We are flying right now. for sure. But Benny and the Jetts, definitely have seen them play before. I know that this is a real solid Claren. Iota, on the other hand, bringing out that Absa, which this is a character that, sort of at the start, I think that people were a little bit unsure about her power level. And even now, I think that some people are still questioning, okay, well, like, she's definitely got some sauce. She's got some big combo games, but how exactly is she going to function in a game where everybody has a big combo game? Everybody's pretty insane. And, I think right now, Iota, people like Ant, right, definitely going to show us what this character can do.
The general consensus of Absa right now, at least from what I hear, is damn, Ant is really good at the game. So, I mean, players are looking to make it work. I love the way Iota is approaching this matchup so far, especially playing with a little more of those aggressive clouds, especially delaying that recovery there to avoid the pressure from Benny on stage. So he's looking to temper here with some down tilts. Not going to get over, opting for the parry there, but against a good app, so they're not going to let you parry for free. They're waiting for that to come out. But barely getting clipped with the up special there.
Yeah, just a little missed time getting off the ledge right there. Probably needed to refresh invincibility once to make sure that they didn't get tagged. Long recovery from Benny and the Jetts, not going to be able to make it back, knowing that that side special to the ledge maybe wouldn't have even made it, even if it was just unsafe. Probably would have been punished with the KO anyways. But Iota going to get punished big time. Not ready for just that dash up F-Strong. Definitely going to have to watch that as this game goes on.
You see one of the biggest pitfalls of this matchup and why ASA players really dislike fighting Claren. Claren eats floaty characters alive. Like, when she's coming back from ledge, or just the ladder combos in general, ABSA is just Claren food. So the best thing you can do as Iota is every single time there's an opportunity to take this off stage, at least putting Benny that's off stage, you're going to take it. And it looks like they're trying to do so right now, especially with the conversion there on this Julesville platform.
Yeah, definitely one of the harder places for Absa to get off. I mean, disjoint's definitely very effective against floaty characters generally, but the only thing more disjointed than a sword is the projectile. And like you were talking about at the beginning, Momo, Iota has been using this, I was going to talk about the neutral special, but I mean, the forward tilt was happening right there as well. And both of those projectiles putting in a lot of really, really good work for Iota to be able to keep up that distance. Nicely done get up right there to avoid a potentially dangerous situation, and now has that ledge advantage.
Oh, go my son, hold down the neutral. Keeping you safe there with that pop as well. The double backer coming out, and he's not going to finish that conversion just yet. Gets a little over aggressive there with the forward strong, but again, every single time Iota's amping up, setting up that cloud to keep yourself some decent safe space away from this Claren. Looking to find the back air there to close the stock soon. Woo! But you cannot get over aggressive against a character like Claren. You mentioned earlier that back throw into F-Strong is going to close it out.
Yeah, you gotta watch those F-Strongs. It looks like Benny and the Jetts definitely coming out with it in full force, right? You're not gonna be able to react to this online, perhaps, so, throw that out, right? Even though the netcode in this game is great, online there is still a disconnect from playing, right next to your opponent. So I like the idea, especially for a Claren player, to say, hey, you know what? I've got the potential to take this stock real quick, but so too does Iota, just getting out that lightning kick to bring this one to last stock.
Very well played there. Opting for the Thunder line. Kakashi, is that you? What's going on? Thunder, the back here there.
Thunderline, Last Defense Academy.
Exactly.
Ooh, okay, up special directly into Benny and the Jetts. No fear. Even lands with the lag. Didn't get the full connection to go back into the air and able to act immediately, but Iota definitely building up that percentage lead, 86%. You gotta watch out for F-Tilt 1, which he is looking for right there, because that can lead into the game for certain. Misses the grab. It's Benny's turn.
Oh, not going to close out just yet. Looking to keep the pressure up here with those forward airs. With the aggressive recovery there from Iota. Going to catch Benny again. Getting over aggressive. Trying to represent more space with those aerials. Going to catch you there on the back foot. With her back foot. With the backer closing it out. Iota taking game number 1.
It is such a mind twister in those situations to have to remember that Absa gets to act immediately depending on how she uses that up special. But if she goes from the ground to the air, she can act immediately. And so if you do that up special into the ground and then go into the air, you will be able to basically throw out a move almost immediately. So if that hits your shield, it's still Absa's turn. It is not your opportunity to throw out a move, and Benny and the Jetts definitely got matchup checked a little bit right there. But we will see if the fortunes can change here. It is Etherean Forest for game 2, and this is, we talked about it earlier with like Hodojo being like that double down on who dies first. This is like tripling down, because Absa can kill you almost immediately very impressive edge guard right there from Iota. Just couldn't connect the sweet spot. So instead, we'll be going back to that lather, rinse, repeat. And it will be, missing the ledge grab. And it's Benny's stock to take first.
You were cooking, and then you absent yourself. I can't believe this. Such
Trying
an
to be a little bit too
go.
fancy, dude.
Man, tried to cover the ledge there. Benny the Jets, we take those every day of the week, looking to demand a longer lead here. The version of that backer, though, going to put you in a better position. It needs to take a stock here very soon. But going to find the anti-air with those up tilts, putting in such good work. And Benny learning his lesson from stock 1, even if he didn't lose his stock first, was, I got to slow down and force his abs to come to me first.
It's a really huge gift to be able to be playing with the lead against Absa on a stage like this, because Absa is all about that punish game. She can combo you off the side up with the best of them, almost like Fleet on the stage, right? Where if you're going off stage, those floaty characters can chase you out for miles, and Claren can definitely fall victim to that. Benny misspacing, not able to get any tippers on the aerials, but a couple more up airs is going to build up that damage. Great lead to play with, and now, again, like we've seen from Benny, you got to watch out for those random strongs, so that's good DI to go way off stage from Iota.
Oh, wait patiently there. Not gonna close out with the backer. Just gonna. Oh, the late conversion into the F strong. Very well played there from Iota. And now looking to accentuate this lead here. Up for a little bit. Not gonna find anything off of that Thunder line though. Trying to come back on there with the Cloud. Benny finally learning this lesson, playing a lot more of that reactionary game, especially when Ops is on the ledge, being able to react to that, recognizing that she needs to have that preemptive setup with Cloud every single time. As long as you play at the mid-range, you can catch her perfectly, like Benny does right there, going up a stock here in the last stock game number 2.
A couple of misspaced recoveries from Iota, or just grabs to the ledge, really interrupting what could have been definitely their rhythm in this game. But we'll see that recovery back on stage. Nice crouch cancel from Benny and the Jets, actually. The floor hug really bailing them out of what could have been a potentially scary situation. But there is that knowledge of the matchup, misspacing the F-Strong right there, which if that tippered, I don't doubt it, that would have taken the Opsa stock. We would have been going to that next game, but instead just has to fight a little bit harder and for a little bit longer here.
Oh, the Cloud pop there, not going to send you to the ledge just yet. But again, Benny playing perfectly at that jump height from ledge, looking to catch Iota, getting over aggressive with a setup there, with the Cloud pop into ledge there as well. Not going to take the stock just yet, but again, Iota finally coming back to life here. Not going to find the sweet spot of that forward air, unfortunately. He's just stock yesterday, because Benny is one good conversion away from closing the whole thing out. Barely missing that up air. Both these players literally going tit for tat with a tough Thunder line. Finally going to close it out. You know what? Just keep gambling. Eventually you'll land the Thunder line.
I can't stop winning. And now, oh my goodness, it could absolutely be Iota's turn. That is so scary. And honestly, right now, you're at percentages where you have to be scared of F-Tilt 2. Or F-Tilt 1, rather, from Absa, but it's not even going to be relevant. We go double critical hit right there with those tippers, knowing that either one of those would have taken the stock guaranteed. But you know what? If Benny and the Jets says, I want them both, Benny and the Jets is going to get them both.
Dude, that is like the most sickening hitbox in the game. When you get the sweet spot and you kill off of Claire and forward air both hits. Absolutely eviscerated there. But again, like the adaptation there from Benny the Jets was played super well. I mean, stock number 1, you're getting ran over and like literally given a gift of Iota unfortunately SDing at 100%, 20%, saying, wait a minute, I need to stop holding forward. I need to slow down, because if I'm playing Claren, I can cover this mid-range, and where Absa wants to jump very well. And a stage like Tempest Peak, there's less space to do that, which I feel like is the idea behind Iota going here, but you still can do that. You need to keep your head on your shoulders here.
You for sure get that, yeah. I mean, I think that having those extra escape zones for those platforms is really big for Absa, being able to mix up that recovery, and especially the usage of the up special on stage and being able to take it right back to that platform and land safely. But Absa gets some really disgusting combo conversions at different platform heights depending on your percentage, and you still die mad early off the side, which is something that Absa loves to see. So you're also going to die a little bit less randomly to Claren as well on the stage, at least off the top, because of those big blast zones up there. But yeah, you see Iota right here, right? So many options to mix up the landing just from that one position. You have the platform available, you have the Cloud to cover you, you have the ledge. So many ways that you can get back to stage. Nice air dodge right there from Benny and the Jets, though. No tech. It's going to be a bit of a risk and does not commit to up special 2, so that is going to be Iota taking a big lead.
Oh, Benny looking to find right back into this game. Opts for the F strong there again, trying to predict where Iota's going to. But Iota learned their lesson from the last two games, recognizing you need to be erratic with the routes you're taking. You're considering this Clarion has been on the money, covering the typical ops recovery routes. See, with that cloud covering you, they're getting back to ledge. F tilt away, still not going to find that sweet spot just yet. Like you mentioned, Comona, you can find the right hitbox on that F tilt on Clarion and you're gone. But again, Iota is playing so unpredictable. It's tough to exactly guess or even follow where he's going to land.
Yeah, tough to lock down, and that's the big thing for Obsa, is just all those mix-ups on landing, really tough to deal with. This is one of the things I really wanted to see from Benny and the Jetts, though, is sort of the layer 2, right? The layer 1 was figuring out, okay, I know it's not my turn when I get beat into by Obsa right there in that situation, but now the question is, how do you take advantage of it? You know that there's going to be a hitbox coming out after that almost immediately, so are you going to dash away? Are you going to be able to get a punish out there? I would even love to see a parry on a couple of them, but Benny and the Jetts making it work, DI out, not going to go down to that down throw just yet, but here's a big juggle potentially for Benny and the Jetts to bring this one back to even. Now it's a real struggle territory. How are you going to get back on Obsa just with that sweeping up special over the ledge?
Ooh, yeah, and Iota getting some good pressure there, keeping yourself safe with those clouds. Pressure that jump in from the platform with that nair back on shield, and the waveland behind there as well. Benny and the Jetts cannot get a read on this Opsa right now, and he opts for the immediate Thunderline. Not going to take, but again, absolutely nowhere is safe, pressuring you with the up air, with the up tilts. Nowhere to go, everything and everywhere. Gonna burn that air dodge again, gonna catch you from the ledge on the double cloud, the triple cloud. Can we get 4? No, we won't. But I was just gonna opt for the 4th throw anyways. Yo, someone help this cat. Free her! Free her!
Stratocumulus edge guard, Momo, and here we go. Does get that set up with the F tilt 1. You always want to look for it. And Iota playing with a really, really big lead right now, taking such great advantage of every tool in Obsa's moveset. And man, these blast zones are so fortunate for this Obsa as well, because this is one of the problems with Clarion, right? Is that again, with a big top blast zone, with the way that you're able to DI her moves, you're going to be taken away from a lot of those kills you eventually type moves. Now, you know, max height platform up throw at 170 as the lowest gravity character in the game, not much you can do.
That was definitely something. But up a whole stock and some change. Finally going to be opting for the deaths with their Game 3 last stock. Finally remembering, hey, wait a minute, I have a button that deletes all projectiles. I have the dirty bubble. Looking to hang out there in center stage, keep yourself somewhat safe. But again, like you mentioned before, Comona, those aggressive recoveries from the ground to air, being able to act immediately out of that, or Benny just simply cannot keep up with it. And I can't blame him, because Abs is such a tricky fella. She's a tricky ewe, to be sure. Oh, big tipper right there, but again, look at how big these blast zones are coming in for Iota, being able to DI that tipper all the way up. Tempest Peak may be a small stage, but aside from really direct tosses off to the side, these blast zones are actually rather big, so small stage size, big blast zones really coming up huge for Iota, and setting up for perhaps a big time edge guard. Gets real aggressive out there. No parry there from Benny, who's trying to bring this down on the last stock, has good coverage of those aerials. Big commit on that F strong. No punish from Iota, who's gonna try to close it out here. Optic for the neutral there. We're getting challenged by the cloud. You cannot sit there, keeping you open, and that conversion into the forward air at the end is going to close it out. And Iota with the taking it game number 3 in 2-1 fashion. And I honestly, like, you saw, like, completely coming into their own there towards the end of recognizing, hey, wait a minute, the best way to deal with Clarion covering all of this space is, instead of playing where she can't cover, you can play in that area, but you just got to be moving at such a frantic and crazy pace that she just can't get a read on you. Like, literally, like, constantly on the move. And Iota did that perfectly.
Yeah, Iota definitely really like established the rhythm of that game for sure, and you know, I think really took advantage of the fact that, okay, like, not really getting punished super hard or losing stage control off of using a lot of those up specials. You know, a lot of the times where it's kind of hard to figure out where exactly it is and isn't Obsa's turn. It feels like it should be your turn. She's one of those characters that really benefits from, you know, people relying on their shield a lot in this game, because, you know, surprise, there wasn't a shield in Rivals of Aether 1. And a lot of us who are playing Rivals of Aether 2 are just so happy to have one that we're willing to use it very often. But because of that, you do get a little bit complacent, and some of these characters sort of get to keep their turn. Like Opsa and Zetterburn are the two that I think of the most, where if you shield their moves, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to get that reversal. There is a lot of safety with those types of characters, and Claren doesn't have the fastest moves out of shield. Like, you do have your Nair, you do have, I mean, it's mostly the Nair, because even something like the up tilt has good coverage, but it's a relatively slow move to be able to hit directly above you. So, again, like, really well played from Iota, really good matchup knowledge, had the punish game on lock too, which was super, super important. Definitely happy to see some Opsa doing well, but not the day for the Claren today so far. However, we will be getting to see another one in this upcoming match, because we have a local to my region stepping up to the plate in Kappel, going up against Cuban Missile Crisis.
I thought you. It's okay. I was gonna help you out there, but yeah, I was excited to say that one. That's a great tag. That's a fantastic tag there.
Shoutouts to Cuba. By the way, I gotta say, shoutouts also to just this like interstitial screen. I love this. I love the graphic work here. I love not only like the cut-ins of the characters, I love the motion. The Rivals art team does not miss. Aether Studios art team never ever misses.
It's a beautiful game, man. Like, you tend to forget it's an indie studio, because like this game is wonderful to look at, and all the graphics make it so easy on the eyes. But we get up here at Julesville, game number 1. We've got Edelus and Claren. Now, you said it's one of your local players. You have a feel for how they feel about Edelus, or how do you think their playstyle will really fit in here?
We've got a couple Edeluses up here, but I think that mostly Kappel has done pretty well against them. I know that I've seen Kappel struggle against the big bodies before, because Kappel's definitely one of those, like, not fully in the Gengar school of thought with Claren, where it's like, okay, like, gonna win neutral 9 times, and you kind of need to, because the punish game isn't fully there, but you do see, the punish game is definitely there. It's just a matter of if we're gonna be able to see Cuban Missile Crisis just absolutely blow up Kappel on one hit. So far, it's actually been Kappel doing that, so big start right here in game 1.
I mean, Kappel going to playing perfectly, rushing Edelus down before he can get anything set up, going to actually parry on that icicle, put him into stun, and again, deter him from setting up that ice early on, which is quite literally his bread and butter. Now looking to pressure that shield there as well. The cross up there is going to be brutal for that shield grab, keeping the pressure up again to the forward air. Not going to find that down air, even with the high recovery. Cuban Missile Crisis is definitely struggling a bit here to find some sort of footing.
Part of that is just how good this advantage state has been. Man, if you take a sip of water every time that you see Kappel land a tipper, you're going to have to pee in like 2 seconds. Because this guy does not miss and doesn't even need the tipper right there with the charge. Really awkward place for Edelus to try to recover from. So Kappel taking really big advantage, having a great lead going right now. Nice use of the hitfalls right here, keeping this combo going a long ways. And man, Cuban Missile Crisis can only get away for a moment, but it doesn't last. Oh my goodness, Kappel.
Oh yeah, Kappel on absolute tear right now. Going to pressure with that backer up tilt as well to catch you out of shield. Got that get up attack waiting for it like nobody's business. The neutral going to catch you back in there to a nair, another up air. Still not going to close it out there. The sour spot trying to find a cheeky down special, but Cuban not going to find it and catching the recovery back to ledge. And the forward strong is going to close it out. Kappel with a dominant game number 1 there. My goodness.
I think the big theme that we've been seeing so far in these early matches, Momo, has been just a lot of big punishes on missed recoveries. I think that we did miss out on that in the last game a little bit, but that'll definitely be even doubly important as we do see the switch over to Loxodon. So again, another big body to throw at Kappel. We'll mention that at... Oh gosh, what was it? It was back to pools a weekend or two ago. Kappel went down to the Reek, another very talented Loxodon player who was able to clutch it out against them, making it into top 8 in the spot that many expected Kappel to take. So this has been a recent loss in terms of matchup for Kappel, but I know that if I know Kappel, I also mean to say that this is a matchup that he has looked into and has gotten some extra prep for to make sure that he never loses it again, and it's looking like that right now.
Absolutely, man. I mean, like, not deterred whatsoever by this pick here. The backer coming out as well. Cuban looking to find that high recovery, not going to get all other with that ledge hog. Definitely playing that well. The fourth throw coming out there as well, looking to kind of demand some of that mid-range pressure there with the back airs, especially on Tempest Peak, where Lux can do that very well. But speaking of placing very well, that neutral special going to come in clean against stock number 1 again, going to Kappel in a dominant fashion.
Critical hit for sure, but going off stage, real dangerous. Honestly, if Kappel had grabbed the ledge right there, that could have been a dead Lox, but Cuban Missile Crisis still able to hang on to that second stock. Don't want to lose it too early, because that's one of the big things you get as Lox, is to be able to hold on to that stock for a very long time, but also got to be able to take him, and we got to see one of these big confirms. In fact, just catching that double jump, or rather the wall jump right there with that back air, big time, throwing it out in advance. Love that. So Cuban Missile Crisis evening up those stocks.
And we're trying to find that nair out of shield, but again, Kappel playing fantastically, recognizing what Loxodon wants to get that hit on an early percent combo, especially with that magma built up. They're not going to challenge that too well. Going to opt for the forward air as well, the pressure. Loxodon in the corner, utilizing all of your resources to get back onto ledge, but still the pressure is not going to stop anytime soon. With the neutral air still hanging on just fine. But Kappel actually going to overextend just a little bit. They're going to caught with that up throw. And now finally Cuban Missile Crisis back in the front, the driver's seat, but can he make it count?
It's definitely trying to get a run-up parry on that recovery earlier, but it doesn't come back to bite Kappel too hard. Does bring down Cuban Missile Crisis. The artist formerly known as Cuban Misfire Crisis played Luigi in some other games. So, but Cuban Missile Crisis nonetheless is down onto the last stock. Needs to make some big things happen, because you know that Kappel is definitely going to be making some big things happen as well. I am loving these recoveries from Cuban Missile Crisis on the Loxodon. Definitely looks much cleaner than we saw in the Endless.
Absolutely. It's recognizing in a matchup like this, it's fully like down to the brawn in the neutral setting as well. Not going to find the pickup there off of that. Down strong, but going deep for the edge guard against the typical low recovery routes that he was going for, especially with that counter there. Goes all the way through with the nair as well. Not going to close it out, so has access to that, to the wall jump. But man, the consistent pressure went from being all on stage to slowly but surely recognizing like, yo, this guy's really good at recovering low. So just going out there and going for those nutty options and covering Loxodon where he simply does not have the answer for you. Kappel taking that W in a definitely well-deserved fashion.
Yeah, really well-deserved. Definitely overcoming, again, what was a recent struggle for him, but was able to take down both the polar bear and the elephant. So, yeah, really good stuff from Kappel. Pacific Northwest native, one of the stronger regions in Rivals of Aether 2. You're going to be seeing a lot of people from the PNW in this bracket as well, but from around the North American continent as well. There are plenty of people from plenty of regions bringing their talent to bear today. No pun intended, since we did see an Edalus earlier. But for now, we will be moving on to our next match, Momo, and we have got one of the favorites to win the whole tournament stepping up to the plate with that Zetter burn. It's going to be Sophilo up against Clover.
Sophilo, man. She, after putting out that like Twitter thread, I want to say like a month and a half ago, talking about how, first of all, she mentioned that when she first started playing this game, she was a gold player online. Personally, I felt that, and I was like, yo, maybe I can do it. Maybe anyone can do it. Considering her heights right now, considering how many insane wins she's picked up along the way, her insane results as of recently, you know, and just continuing the hot streak here today. Like you mentioned, one of the favorites to win the entire thing, and that wouldn't be surprised to anybody, really. That, like, people tend to have really strange opinions on a character like Zetterburn, but you watch a player like Sophie, you're like, yo, guys, what are we talking about? It's crazy.
It's definitely fun to watch. I think that one of the big things that I do really love about this game is the fact that somebody like Sophilo can exist. Somebody that picks up the game, isn't, you know, coming in as just like, oh, I'm like an established top player. I'm immediately, you know, just doing my placement matches. I'm in Diamond. I win a few matches. You know, I'm really good. You know, like the Voids of the world. Not that I hate Void, I just hate him for being so good and everything. But the fact that somebody like Sophilo can come in as like a true talent gold player and then improve and now is, you know, think that a lot of people would say Sophilo is a top 10 player, no doubt, right? It goes to show that, right, this game is technical. There is a lot of stuff that you can do. There is a ton of depth, but it is also not incredibly difficult to pick up. This is a game that, you know, that technical stuff, that cool stuff that you can do, it is accessible, and somebody like Sophilo is able to pick that up in a short amount of time as well. So we'll see what she's able to do up against Clover. We're going to be having one of the classic matchups, Forsburn and Zetterburn going at it. Merchant Port for game 1.
The unfortunate thing about this matchup is that while Forsburn technically does have the tools to deal with Zetterburn, whether it be it the clone and disjoints in general to challenge Zetterburn off stage and its typical pitfalls, Zetterburn can be kind of just running him down sometimes. And early on, Sophilo is doing exactly that with the aggressiveness right out the gate, looking to take a stock here soon. Clover hanging on just fine though. Again, representing a little good with the cape there and those aerials as well, making sure Sophie cannot just get in undeterred.
Yeah, definitely one of the things that is like number one priority against Zetterburn. My goodness, what a perfectly spaced reverse fair sweet spot, no less. Like, that's really solid stuff from Sophie right there. But recovery, you're not able to snap the ledge right there. Great coverage here from Clover. Is going to get punished with that immediate tech into the down special. We got that big flaming dive, but Clover not taking a big punish for it either. Definitely still keeping it close right now.
Absolutely. Still looking to turn it up here. Gets back to ledge immediately. They're not going to challenge too much off stage. Going to catch you in that cloud saying, hey, Master of Deception, you only got one place to go. You're not deceiving me, buddy. And that's Sophilo up 3 stocks to 1. And Clover just, again, fighting from the back foot. It's just be so tough to bring this back, especially against a character like Zetterburn.
We'll see, just trying to make up that space. But again, you know, Forsburn definitely wants to like command space, and character as fast as Zetterburn and with that side special as well can really make up that space so quickly. Is going to be able to make it back to the ledge, but Sophie is not going to let you get all the way back onto the stage. Quick little combination. You know that that's a combo Sophie runs drills on every day of the week.
Dude, it's like following her Twitter, she posts like the crazy clip on said character, and like she hits those back air down airs for breakfast. Like, I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. But early on, like, I can appreciate the way Clover is approaching this. Like, definitely has the right idea, trying to deter Zetterburn, like having those active hitboxes, like those disjoints, again, the big utilizations of those capes, trying to catch those jump ins. It's just so tough to constantly be on the money against a character that is moving and thinking so quickly.
Well, the fact that Sophie dropped that combo, but it was still low-key her turn as well, getting back on stage, kind of crazy. Just a bit misspaced on that charged-up shine. However, still going to be going down. Once you're flaming, you're going to be on that blast zone. I'm not talking about stakes with that flaming on. We are going into that second stock for Clover, who is going to get all that smoke taken away immediately, so nothing doing right there.
Ooh, absolutely, man. Get rid of those tools on screen, and now slowly with a high recovery, gonna get called out there with the back air. A little too comfortable utilizing that pity flip. Very good call out there from Clover. Now looking to accentuate back up. You're getting smoke all over the height. This jump height right now. Gonna offer that on there as well. Finally feeling more of that aggressive nature coming back on here and trying to challenge the pressure that Sophilo is putting forward.
I love what we saw opening up in that stock from Clover as well, jumping right over Sophie and then pulling out the clones. I mean, like literally forcing a I'ma block this whack-ass mix-up situation, and then being able to take advantage of it as well. Did actually catch Sophie guessing incorrectly, and not the best DI there on that down special, or on that down strong either. So all of a sudden, Clover with some big punishes out of the cape as well. Combust not taking you off the top. Juiceville does have a pretty tall top blast zone, but quick turnaround at the B reverse down special into the back air. Clover is heating up.
Listen, man, this is not Cake Assault. That was the coolest force run thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry. that was sick.
Speaking of This Is Not Cake Assault, if you go on to Clover's Start GG page, the description is Cake Assault, wait for me.
Oh, man. But we're sitting here with a decent lead, gonna get called out there by the Ledge Hog, unfortunately. So last stock scenario here. Sophilo definitely looking to turn up, not going to give Clover the opportunity to set up a smoke here on the final stock. The high recovery, the clone going to keep you safe there, going to catch you with that aggressive nair from the corner. Up throw, putting you back on the Jules Valve, trying to get you back in here into the blender. Get some extra damage here from the corner. Keep coming out there. The weak hit of that Nair. Bada bing, bada boom. Trying to keep the combo game up. Uh-oh.
It tried to set up another K-Brad right there. Wasn't able to get that mixed up, though. And Sophilo just needs to put this Force Burn on fire, and it's suddenly in big-time danger. Tech back onto the stage. The situational recognition from Clover is great. Even right there with that tech roll on reaction, keeping the pressure on. Sophilo stuck at the ledge and minding those invincible aerials. Was not able to maneuver around at that time, but Force Burn's still going to try to keep it alive, getting back to the ledge. How is Sophilo going to look to close this out off stage?
Let's go for the high recovery. Not going to avoid that ledge hog. Rolling out there to avoid the pressure from Sophilo. I'm going to catch the roll in with the 4-strong. Yeah! Sophilo barely closing it out in game number 2. A well-fought battle there from Clover, but Sophilo's still going to punch forward with a swift 2-0. My goodness.
Looking very, very solid right there. And honestly, I mean, again, Sophilo, one of the favorites to win the tournament. You would expect her to make it out of Pool's winner's side. Clover really put up an incredible fight right there. One of Arkansas's finest players and showing off exactly what that Force Burn can do in this matchup, right? Again, the situational recognition, I think, was incredible. The punish game was obviously there as well. No problems closing out the stocks. It's just a matter of, right, you've got to be able to get those openings a couple more times than Zetterburn can, because he will absolutely bowl you over if he gets just one.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, Clover was honestly playing the matchup decently well. It's utilizing any downtime you have, which is very few and far in between fighting Zetterburn, but set up that smoke not only just on the ground, but setting it up high in the typical jump distance, whether it's going for those like high pity flip recoveries, going for like the typical nairs from the corner. We saw a lot of what Sophilo was doing was to amp up, either like coming in there with a shine or opting for like a fade back of a nair, coming back from ledge, trying to catch a reversal or some kind of aggressive rush in from Clover from ledge. Clover playing around, then also utilizing a lot of those disjoints, not just like in the air, like with the with those forwarders with the nairs, but also like going for those upward capes or the capes in general to catch Sophie jumping in. You know, recognizing where Zetterburn wants to be is at that short hop height to get like into that long nonsense combo. So it's like if there's any little bit of time for you to recognize where he's going to be and get somewhat of a semblance of a defensive game going, and you take advantage, you can see what can come of that. Especially if your combo game is disgusting. Again, that Force Burn was moving. That was a that was out of Pools. Can you believe that? What?
Definitely Cuban. That was to make it out of Pools, and that was one of the last matches we were waiting on for Pools as well. So again, the fact that was Pools is insane. Clover is definitely going to be messing up that losers bracket, but that bracket will be upcoming. We are out of Pools. We have made it into the top cut bracket, which is going to be leading up into the top 8 of this tournament, which is the R2CS NA Online tournament. Thank you so much for watching. This is the September edition of it. We are getting some of the best players in North America to hop in, fight for those delicious circuit points, trying to do their best to, you know, continue on to be able to qualify for everything at the year's end. But only a few people can get those points, and we are going to be finding out who they are. And we've got our next match coming up, which is going to be a very exciting battle between Terry and Adam. We're going to be seeing Fleet, our first one of the day, and Edalus, who I've seen a couple of times, but Adam, definitely one of the scariest ones in the whole bracket.
Yeah, Adam was one of the players that was very formative of my opinion of Edalus on the tier list. Very formidable player, but in a matchup like this, it's definitely, obviously Fleet does very well against most of the heavyweights in this game, especially against characters like Crag and like Edalus, right, where it's like tough to get your stuff set up typically, considering the space that Fleet can occupy and like the offstage game, her consistent pressure from her aerials. It's see Adam doing right now. You gotta come aggressive. You gotta come confident right out the gates.
And you got to be careful about how much you're sticking in the air, because while Edalus does just completely control the ground, he does have some really scary aerials that Fleet really has a difficult time contesting. That nair at full speed, but it will be setting up for that platform situation. You're on the ground, you're going to be eating that up strong. So Adam showing off that explosive kill power of Edalus. Now with all this ice on the floor as well, want to see just how quickly this bear can move.
Oh, speaking of moving right now, though, Terry goes high for that high special and goes low for the down air. No matter what height you're going to be at, the Fleet is keeping the pressure up like white on rice. But immediately right out the gates, Adam, again, the aggressiveness with even the singular patch of ice. Like, you got to be careful considering he's tracking you down super quickly. Goes a little overzealous there with that offstage gameplay. And Terry definitely going to take advantage there with the up tilt into the forward air as well. Fleet finally coming to life here this combo game.
Man, look at that big advantage state, all the way up to 87%, just off of one decision from Adam to not go directly to the ledge, trying to get a little bit too aggressive to land back on stage with the back air, and it worked out horribly the first time. This time it works out great, scooping into that up air command grab, and that is going to be rocketing that Fleet to the bottom blast zone. Adam seemingly looking for it again.
Ooh, back throw into the Satchel again, the typical Edalus fashion. Catching, getting overzealous there with the back here. Terry doing a fantastic job of catching Adam every single time he gets overconfident and goes to temper him a little bit. But Adam, though, back in the driver's seat here, actually going to delete those icicles there with an up air. Very well played from Terry, but going to catch a reversal there with a parry. Oh man, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, we're going up and down for sure, and that's scary for Edalus now that he's sort of got that pseudo fuel mechanic with that up special where, you know, the effectiveness of it decays as time goes on as you have to use it over and over off stage, but is able to maneuver around it back on stage here on Julesville. This is last stock, and boy, I mean, we are seeing an absolutely scary situation for Terry. Definitely could be dead at any moment. Just able to scoop right past that downer, though. Adam one hit away.
Oh, the powered arrow going to find the hit there on Adam. Goes to the parry to keep yourself a little bit of those iframes. Backer coming out. Now Terry playing patiently offstage, just barely avoiding the forward air. Going to find that downer, going to catch the wave land out of there and going to find the nair into the forward air to close it out. Adam barely clinching out there in game number 1. And we are in best of 5 territory. So every set from here on out is going to be a heater.
Big time battles for sure. A couple of them, we know this because a couple of them have already wrapped up in the top level bracket, or in the top cut bracket rather. You saw Mr. Nice Guy and Durai have already won their round once. Durai actually beating Lulius in the Rano Ditto 3-1. So, you know, like the three, there are like 3 Ranos that enter bracket at any given time, but I digress. Durai is going to be fighting to make it into winners quarters against Mr. Nice Guy over there, so that's going to be something to watch. However, keep your eyes on this one. We're back to Julesville, the stage that both of these characters absolutely adore. Edalus for all that open space to utilize the icicles, all that flat ground to utilize the ice. But of course, for Fleet, you are a character that can sort of create your own platform with that float, and that is a big advantage to have when the other characters are not allowed to.
Terry looking to keep that same momentum up here, trying to play in the air, avoiding the icicle hit with the up air, but that also leaves you open to a plethora of offstage answers right there, opting for the special up there on the platform as well. Adam waiting to react to whatever ledge option you pick right there. Not going to pick out that up air just in time. Gonna opt you with the little boop. Goodbye with the up special.
Stand on him. Stand on him for sure, man. Great stuff there from Adam. Gonna be going all the way up and actually getting caught by the up strong. You gotta be careful against this character because Fleet has got infinite range up and down.
Absolutely, man. And Terry looking to keep flaunting that here as well. Going to cover the entire platform with that Satchel. Not going to find the conversion there. All the down air just yet, but still in the ledge very well. Again, delaying that recovery, barely avoiding that down air. Even as you're back on the stage, finding so much, especially with that forward strong. Powered arrow going to catch you without an air dodge. And Adam, every single angle he goes to this Fleet is quick enough and spry enough in the air to catch you no matter where you're going. Oh, man.
Still can't believe people said this character was cooked, because you look at the punish game Fleet has when a good character pilots her, you gotta respect it. But boy, if you want to talk about punish games, you know what? You can just put all those words back into my mouth, because when Edalus is out here doing stuff like that, when Adam is finding the conversions at damn near 0%, you gotta respect it. We'll see if this bear can make it back with the Fleet covering the ledge. You got, yes, Terry getting that follow-up right there with the up strong, bringing us down to last stock despite the struggles on the second.
Absolutely insane from both these players. Adam looking to turn up here from ledge. Maybe a little bit too much of an over-aggressive commitment there, taking so much damage from that reversal. Now looking to get back under the Satchel as well, waiting out for the extra damage on that grab. Terry definitely playing this well from the ground, and trying to, without the ice setup, you're recognizing that Adam's gonna be pacing back and forth, waiting for you to run back in there, and pressuring accordingly. But I'm just waiting to find the opportunity, waiting for Terry to let off the gas a little bit, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh,
that's been the big thing I've been loving from Terry, is just not letting that ice be even a factor in this game number 2. It was quite a bit more in that game 1, but oh my goodness, here it comes as a factor right there at the ledge. It's really all Edalus needs to get some crazy stuff done. Ooh. Did actually read the up special with the up special of their own, but Terry not able to take that stock right there. Adam back on stage. Huge opportunity for a character like Edalus, who now just needs one more hit. If you make it back, great tech on the down strong.
Counter coming out from Adam, still holding strong here, avoiding barely with that forward air. Gets back to the ledge just in time to the up special. Gonna catch a roll in there with the forward strong. They're looking to catch you, getting over aggressive. The special get him, and gonna deter the pressure there from Adam as well. Still coming out there as well. Through the fire and the flames, Adam still barely threading the needle. Gonna pressure you there with the get up from ledge. Gonna catch you going higher with that recovery. Just barely makes it back to ledge there as well. Terry putting on so much pressure. Adam barely hanging on. The up throw coming out. Where do we see the landing there? The special gonna catch you in the top of the blast zone. Oh my goodness, both of these players, the defensive game is on point right now towards the end of this game, but the down throw gonna catch that over-aggressive jump, and Terry barely by the skin of their teeth closes it out. Oh my goodness.
Great use of the defensive game that Fleet offers, especially uniquely against Edalus. You saw that, getting hit by the icicles up top, but then just floating immediately afterwards there in one of those clutch moments where a lot of characters, you're suddenly in really dire straits because Edalus can chase you up there. But for Fleet, it's just a matter of holding that jump button, just being able to daintily get back down to the ground. And despite that, we will be even. These players have both been really, really solid over the course of this set. Wind Chime changing hands a couple of times and does not find any effect here at the beginning of Game 3, which is on Rockwall. And look, I gotta say, you got a lot of room to maneuver as Fleet. Both of these characters are going to die very early because Fleet can chase you deep off stage. We might even see it here, if not for the good DI there from Adam to get back to the ledge immediately. But obviously the Edalus KOs can come quick, but only if you're back on stage. And man, Terry is not letting that happen. The punish game from this Fleet in this matchup has been abundant.
I mean, it's got to be good, right? Considering that it's like, considering all the momentum that Adam gets every single time he gets hit with this Edalus, like, you have to make it count when it's your turn as well. Terry looking to find a way back onto ledge there. The convert into the down strong is going to connect to take that stock number 1, but Adam looking to eviscerate the stock here again. Like you mentioned on Rockwall, basically any random hit is going to do it. Terry looking to find some way, somehow to make it back. Adam not going to close it out just yet.
I like that Terry did all of that usage of the resource over in the magnifying glass, where it was really hard to tell whether it was an air dodge or a double jump that got used, because that can really significantly change the perspective on Adam's end of how to approach that edge guard. Nonetheless, the stocks do go back to even at 2 apiece after we see that armor from the forwarder just mash right through and keeping on that pressure. Big shield break. What do we got, Adam?
Oh, we're not going to find the conversion off the up air just yet as well. Going to catch you on that platform. Terry looking to set up there with the Celtics, but Adam just barely avoiding that again, threading the needle perfectly, and now setting up the ice when he can, have the dash into underneath that platform, and now Terry's got to get, like you mentioned, been deterring his ice setup all set, and now finally when it's set up here, this Fleet's got to be scared, but like you mentioned before, Fleet is going to be killing you criminally early here on Rockwall.
And this is the scary part about going Rockwall against Fleet, is that yes, you do get to kill her early because she's so light, like you see right there with the big ice fist from Adam, but 75 base power Pokemon moves aside, you have to be so careful of how you get tossed off the side of the stage. With all this ice set up, all this flat ground, Adam can start going crazy. This is something we sorely missed in that game number 2. Does get baited right there with that upward side special. Now we're just gonna see, is Terry able to stay alive or is Adam able to close it out? Question is going to continue to be asked. 113%.
Oh, the ice setup there, not only on the ground, on the top arm as well. You have the entirety of the stage covered, and Terry feeling the aura of the chilly ground saying, nah, man, you got it. I'm going next.
Yeah, not able to make it back right there. Needed to pop that recovery early, but maybe thought that there was still a wall jump or something available. Did not have it in the back pocket, so Adam going up 2-1, counterpick advantage does stay with the Polar Bear. Now the question is, How does Terry feel about that game? Are we going to stick with the fleet? Are we going to see the switch to the Olympia? Yes, we are. I'm glad I brought it up. We are going to be seeing the ice crystals versus the earth crystals as we get into game 4. I saw a lot of question marks in chat about, are we going to be sticking with the fleet? Are we going to see the Olympia? Why didn't we see the Olympia in game 1? That's what a lot of people know the Terry for. Well, now we are going to be seeing what the Terry can bring with the Olympia as we go to Godai Delta for game 4.
Absolutely, man. Godai Delta, perfect stage to empower Olympia to go for the typical like platform conversions. Only that to just like try to avoid the ground covering nonsense that Atlas like to put forward here in general. But as we saw before, doesn't matter the type of stage he's on, you give Adam even like an inch of the ground and he will make it count.
The biggest thing that I'm really scared of here, I mean, this is going to be if you get a hit on stage, you're going to blow up your opponent because both of these characters get edge guarded by each other pretty hard. Atlas a little less so, but Olympia for sure. And I might be, you know, seeing the future right there with that Olympia off stage. Adam keeping the pressure on. Here we go again. Down air. You don't even need a second one. This is why we saw the fleet, because the Olympia might be strong on stage. But once you go off stage, all bets are off and Adam smells blood.
All right, Twitch chat. I think I know why he went fleet. I
think I might have a good idea. Ooh, okay.
Wow. Alrighty.
Big dunks.
I mean, like, quite literally living up to the name of hamster death, right? Like, Adam is playing the matchup perfectly right now, trying to make some kind of footing going here with those nairs and the throw conversions, but just one drop for this combo, especially this percentage, and Atlas could close it out. Don't even need the spike that time. There's a big punch straight through, and that's going to be Adam closing it out in a 3-1 fashion.
Definitely looking so solid with that Atlas, and honestly not playing against Fleet, not having to deal with the projectiles, especially once the gem field was already set up. Really easy, I think, at that point for Adam to just say, all right, well, now I get my ice set up on the ground, and Olympia, like, you know, you're not a fast character, you have fast frame data, but you're not going to be able to stop the bear from just rushing in with that dash attack, canceling it into an aerial, right? Nothing really to be done right there, and again, once that rat goes off stage, that rat is going down. This ain't no Pikachu, this is Olympia. And Adam definitely showing us what Atlas can do. This is a Dark Souls boss fight of a character. If you mess up once or twice, you're gonna get punished hard.
You want me to explain how that went? Hold on, 1 second.
Go ahead. Tell me how it went, Momo. I'm curious to see what you got in mind. Momo has left the chair, has procured an object of some sort that I could
command grab. I had this guy sitting in my corner. It was the perfect time to pull him out. Command grab. Endless up air. Game. This. It is, but it works.
It's a different game, Momo. Going crazy. All right. But yeah, we definitely did see a lot of that up air coming into effect in that last game. So maybe should have stuck with the fleet right there on Terry's end. Regardless, we'll still be in the bracket, able to use that Olympia and the fleet. But if you felt like, hey, I wanted to see a little bit more fleet, I haven't gotten my fill yet. Well, stay tuned in because Mystery Soul is coming up in this next game. Has the fleet, of course, ready at all times. And weirdly enough, also Atlas, I didn't know that Mystery Soul, I mean, I don't doubt that Mystery Soul has any character, but I ran into Mystery Soul twice on ranked yesterday, and game 4, I got the Atlas, and I got owned even harder than the fleet did to me. So I don't expect to see the Atlas, but it is there, and I think that everybody should know about that.
That makes the Atlas valid. If it has a Comona win, valid Atlas.
I mean, to be fair, so does the fleet. The fleet has a few wins on me as well, but yeah, I mean, we were talking about powerful players from the Pacific Northwest earlier. Mystery Soul, almost the like eternal number 1 of Rivals 1 and 2 up here, has definitely shown off just the power that resides within. Right, this is somebody with, I mean, it's just an unbelievable advantage state. Anytime that you see Mystery Soul play against somebody, it is optimized so beautifully. Even the moments where a combo drops, Mystery Soul is ready to react and then do something afterwards to continue that combo, continue the advantage. Just a really a deep mastery of what Fleet is able to do in terms of, okay, maybe it's not immediately killing you off of one hit, but being able to turn that one hit in neutral and keep that advantage state for a full stock, definitely something that character can do. But we'll see how Viviana deals with it on the other end, because that is going to be our matchup. Saw the chat excited for that one. Momo, how you feeling?
I'm feeling like Mystery Soul would be remiss not to go Fleet here, because I'm looking at Viviana's profile, and she plays the good old elephant. And let me tell you, man, as an elephant player myself, you see the guy up there, Fleet Loxodon
it's tough.
It's a pretty not great matchup.
Fleet against any big bodies, honestly, definitely her place to be, right? The amount that she's able to keep on the pressure with those projectiles, and of course, just like I was talking about, right? It's not necessarily about getting combos all the way around, but she has some very difficult to contest hitboxes. So, Loxodon, I've definitely seen Mystery Soul go crazy against this character before, but Viviana might be a different breed, bringing the, what's that? Is that the Giraffe Loxodon skin?
Yes, that's what I saw.
All right,
that's a goated pick right there. You know, the thing about this game is that there are so many good skins that, like, there are barely times I'm like, ugh, why that one? Like, it's man, like you talked about the R team before. Whoever's on the team making the skin specifically, give every person on that team a raise.
Our team going crazy, especially for Loxodon. Loxodon does not have a single one that misses. Like, every single one of those is like A tier or better for sure. But we will see two players that are A tier or better going up against each other. Mystery Soul, of course, the established, one of those S+ tier kind of players, right? One of the favorites to win the tournament for sure. But Viviana bringing in what I know to be a very, very solid Loxodon. We're going to Godai Delta for game one. So I think it is going to be a matter of trying to keep that fleet above those platforms, but burning a lot of resources. You're going to deal with not even a parry right there. Shield on the up B1 and then the hit afterwards. Viviana somehow able to get back off of that situation.
I can already tell Viviana utilizing a lot of those range tactics very well, utilizing that reverse hit of the up air, and again playing around the so very well, going to get aggressive on the ground game, setting up that meatball there perfectly there with the jab 2 setup, and going to catch Mystery Soul overextending with that back air. Viviana playing this matchup to a T so far, and utilizing what little answers Loxodon has for these projectiles very well so far.
I mean, the big thing is that you've just got a lot of range. I guess didn't realize that the double jump got taken in there somewhere, so an unfortunate SD doesn't let Viviana play with the lead as long as I would imagine was the plan. But going into stock number 2, does still have the percentage lead. Big damage right there, and I will not be giving you an avenue back onto stage. Little error right there from Mystery Soul, staying out there a little bit too long, using too many resources, and it almost got scary again. Viviana taking great advantage of this offstage gameplay, and that is not what I would expect in this matchup.
Oh, playing around outside of the range of that parry. Viviana still hanging on just fine. Utilizing that no charge. That's what they're to hang. Oh, no, not going to clip the ledge, unfortunately. But still sitting here in the lead. Got off for that reverse forward up air into another backer to extenuate this advantage state here. Mystery Soul finally going to opt away from that. Sasha learning his lesson from those couple other parries. But one more conversion here from this Loxodon could do it. Goes to the eruption. Oh, that's the Sasha as well. Wait a minute. Oh, you're
actually dead.
The elephant is alive! The giraffe, whatever animal this is, the animal kingdom is on their feet.
The girelephant, bro. The girelephant going crazy right now.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Long neck, long nose, long tusks. It doesn't matter. Viviana, given the... you know, I'm not going to say that joke out loud, but either way, we are going into game number 2. Viviana is going to have to deal now with Julesville for game number 2, so definitely a lot less platform coverage overall. Flat stage, Fleet loves it, talked about it earlier. Being able to float up in the air, sort of create a pseudo platform for herself that opponents cannot see. Huge advantage, and also her combo game can go crazy here. But man, Viviana, I mean, has the game lead, and you can definitely see why, because like, Momo, I don't know if you're picking up the same thing that I am, but like the tap into the rhythm that Mystery Soul is playing at, we see a lot of, really good spacing. We see a lot of really good parries. Viviana is making very few mistakes and punishing Mystery Soul really hard for his.
Oh my god, Viviana is playing this fantastically. And honestly, utilizing one of the best adaptations you can do against somebody, the biggest blow to their mental you can do. Mystery Soul cannot use side special. At least point blank what he's trying to do. Every single time it's being met with a parry, so most of the typical pressure Mystery Soul is trying to put forward, Viviana is challenging it and doing a great job. But speaking of that, gonna catch a recovery. And finally, has opted away from just going for that Nair to shield to challenge the up special and just opting for a parry. You know, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, no.
This is the Mystery Soul classic. Even getting the follow-up with the side special off stage, just gonna make sure that there is no invincibility there at the ledge. Make Viviana find another route back. This is the classic Mystery Soul in the big body matchups. Doesn't get the up tilt after parrying hit one, a little bit too slow to get there, but does keep that advantage state going nonetheless. Oh my goodness, scary getting hit by that downer.
Dash attack from out of the corner, looking to get back to stage recovery. Not going to utilize the up special again. Going for the high recovery, mixing up very well. Setting up there with the boulder, finding so much damage there with the grounded down up special. Actually, going to challenge with the jab as well. Oh, had the right idea there, the read, but still going to keep the pressure up there with the reverse into that forward air. Up air comes out, full charge of that magma, but doesn't give you enough height with the eruption. Oh, the wind turn back on you. And actually going to trade off the last second. Oh, gets a little overzealous there with that parry. And now Viviana tries to make it back on again. Mystery Soul keeps challenging this Loxodon in mid-range, and Viviana is going to meet him there every single time.
Drifted in like Takumi Fujiwara. I need some Eurobeat on that up strong, man. I don't know how you got that deep and were able to connect it, but Viviana making some magic happen with this character. And Mystery Soul keeping on the pressure as well. No clues as to who's going to be taking this game number 2 as we go into last stock, and both of these players looking to get out of the floor hug malaise that is the beginning of many stocks, and Viviana finds it with that down tilt, keeping that big pressure on almost 60%, and that is a scary place for Fleet to be.
Clover utilizing that magma, charges the eruption, barely gets back to the ledge, utilizing that invincibility as well. Looking to try to amp back up here. Mystery Soul playing patient again, learning his lesson, not going to offer that special brainlessly instead, biding his time, off the avoid that special in there with the down air as well, and now Loxodon put in prime position, be put back in the blender, but the high recovery from Viviana again. These recoveries have been pristine from her.
And nice double jump away right there. Not going to catch an up air there either. Maneuvering around the F strong as well. Covering a lot of space off stage. Mystery Soul getting caught. Trying to hit away that meatball. Not the opportune moment to do it. Forward throw. Going to get that Fleet back off stage. And there is a magma charge as well. So you have to watch out for that. Gets burned there. Mystery Soul back air. It will take that elephant to the blast zone. Despite the perfect DI, we are going to have an even game count between these two who have looked, both by game count and by the gameplay, Momo, this has been a dead even set.
Absolutely, man. Like, even between, like, just right back into it, no messing around, immediately back to Julesville, because the benefits for both these players were coming out in spades. Whether it was the pressure of Mystery Soul and playing the aerial game versus the different recovery routes being helped by the Julesville platform, we're comfortable staying exactly where we're at.
Yeah, and I'm definitely excited to see how this one goes along. Does look like we have a couple of technical difficulties right now, but you can hear that these two players are playing the game right now. So, you know, matchmaking aside, this game 3, boy, I wish we could see it. That would be great. But regardless of that, man, Viviana and Mystery Soul, you know, Momo, I wanna take this opportunity. We can't see the match, but if we have the opportunity, I do want to talk to you about this matchup. You play the elephant. I know that you were saying that you have some gripes, but what you've seen from Viviana so far, what do you think has been making this work?
The biggest thing Viviana is doing is utilizing the eruptions at like perfect timings to not go for the typical like offensive pressure, instead utilizing it to extend your recoveries to keep you safe, like going for those higher up special angles, and also like utilizing the up air and the forward air to challenge where Fleet combos typically start for, like, from the ground, either with a forward air or like a side special in general to get out of there. Mystery Soul, as we said earlier, cannot side special in this game. Every single time it has been impeded by a parry. So trying to go for like that short hop forward air or like a nair out of the corner, being challenged by Viviana utilizing the huge hitbox that like forward air the size of Indiana. You know, like the reverse hit of that up air that catch you not only sharking from underneath the platform, but even like a reverse hit, like something like a boulder or something of the sort. You know, it's utilizing the tools of like, yeah, while the long range game is pretty insufferable at times, when it comes to the mid range, Loxodon can definitely make it work. It's just staying in the mid range and brute forcing your way back in and utilizing the magma is a pretty good way of doing so.
Yeah, I think that it has been, again, taking advantage of the tools that are available in the matchup extremely well. We talked about it earlier that, Loxodon against floaty characters in general, like, he does have a toolkit that interacts with them really well. It's just a matter of what can they do to him, right? And in the case of Fleet, right, keeping that advantage state going forever, that is really tough as a big body. But if you don't get there in the first place, that's obviously a really big boon. But, I mean, like, to me, I feel like the fact that Viviana has been not getting blown up, especially on the recoveries, has been so hard to lock down. That's one of the easiest pitfalls to fall into as a Loxodon. And if there is any one thing that